you know it was a matter of time before I had to make a video about Gundam Wing. If you were like me in the late 90s and early 2000s, you most definitely grew up glued to your television set each day after school watching the holy grail that was Toonami. Toonami introduced many Westerners to the wonders of Japanese animation through shows like Dragon Ball Z and Tenchi Muyo, but for future fans of the mecha genre, Gundam Wing was our godsend. While most kids were reenacting DBZ fight scenes in the playground, I was busy fantasizing about piloting the Gundam Heavy Arms or blasting away enemies with the Wing Gundam's beam rifle. And yes, I would make my own sound effects. I was admittedly a huge Gundam Wing fanboy back in the day, and who could blame me? It was the only Gundam series available at the time. But looking back on it critically now, yeah, Gundam Wing is a mess. It's the equivalent of a boy band with giant robots most of the time. And who could forget this infamous scene from the first episode?
But why?
I'll kill you.
I mean, what? Only a few minutes earlier, he was trying to commit suicide, and now he's somehow infiltrated high school just to make vague threats? But for the purposes of this video, I'll keep my critique at a minimum and focus more on the impact Gundam Wing had in introducing people to the mecha genre. Gundam Wing became a massive success in North America after its initial run in 2000. But why is that? You see, Gundam Wing originally aired back in Japan in 1995, being the second series to take place in an alternate universe other than the Universal Century. The show was quite popular in Japan, so it makes sense why Sunrise chose to air it overseas. So the show finally airs, and what do we get? Not one Gundam, but 5 Gundams, each with their own unique weapons, armor designs, pilots. It was awesome. Also, we got model kits, action figures, and VHS and DVDs. This was genius marketing by Sunrise and Bandai, a business model they had been perfecting with Gundam in Japan for nearly 2 decades. I could go watch the show, then go buy my favorite mobile suit in any major retailer. I mean, the first Gunpla I ever built was the Serpent from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. With the successful run of Gundam Wing in North America, we got introduced to additional Gundam media, including the original Mobile Suit Gundam and Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Plus, if you stayed up late to watch Toonami's Midnight Run, you could catch arguably some of the best Gundam series, including Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket and 8th MS Team. Heck, Mecha became so popular with Western audiences after Gundam Wing that Toonami even did a special week dedicated to the genre, Giant Robot Week. But all great things must come to an end. As you all know, Toonami eventually got pushed to Saturday nights, with the occasional airing of shows like Gundam Seed, but Gundam merchandise slowed to a halt. By the time Toonami was off the air in 2008, most fans had already turned to the advent of the internet for their Gundam fix, and with insanely overpriced DVDs, who could blame them? But looking back at Gundam Wing, despite its poor quality voice acting and ridiculous plot, the show has more than earned its place in giant robot history simply because it introduced an entire generation to Mecha who may not have known about it otherwise. Well, that was a nice little walk down memory lane, but I want to hear about your giant robot nostalgia. Feel free to leave your story in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week on Mecha Mondays.